Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. I have with me, as usual, my co-host Abrar Aziz. How are you doing, sir?
Good, good, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Enjoyed the Champions League games?
Yeah, it was good fun. Surprise, one or two surprises over there. Actually, one big surprise. Everything else was kind of according to plan. So
Yeah, so the results were basically Juventus 2, Lyon 1. So Juventus out on aggregate.
yeah,
City 2-1
yeah,
against Real Madrid. So City go through on aggregate. And then Barcelona 3, Napoli 1. So Barca go through. And Munich 4, Chelsea 1. Munich go through really easily. So Juventus game was the biggest surprise for you. What were your thoughts on that game? Like, Ronaldo almost pulled it back and got them through, but they just couldn't get that third goal.
yeah. Absolutely. I think I mean, Ronaldo did as much as he possibly could, right? If you think about it, he did score the two goals, the one penalty, and then the nice little finish over there, for the second goal as well. I think he tried hard enough. I just think that uh, it was unfortunate that they went out the way they did, but Leon got the all important goal, and that made all the difference, right? They were just not able to get that important third goal, even though they were really attacking for the most part of towards the end of the second half. They were just chance after chance, but they were not able to convert. And that clinical finish in the end, that is what cost them. Even like the likes of Dybala and Higuain and everyone. I mean, what's the point of having such big names if you're not going to be able to finish? Important, like I mean, at the time that it matters the most, they were not able to convert. So that's kind of sad for them. And seeing them out, it must have really hard. Ronaldo must be really heartbroken, I think.
Yeah, I saw his reaction. He was really, really upset.
He did
Uh,
almost everything he could, honestly. So
yeah. And how much do you think they missed the crowd? Like, especially when you're 2-1 up, like you need one more goal, the crowd does like pump you up to a certain extent, doesn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I think the atmosphere and stuff like that is always a big miss. But you can't really pin it down to that. I think that they should have been more clinical. There were a couple of chances that they should have really finished, and it's just unfortunate to see that there were a few chances that they should have really finished. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and the refereeing, both penalties, I don't think they're both controversial. I wouldn't have given either of them. Your thoughts on the referee?
Uh, the refereeing has been a big problem for the past few months. Like a lot of controversial decisions, a lot of stuff that's there has to be something that needs to be done about the refereeing situation. Like they need to find some better referees, or they need to figure out what they can do to kind of uh, maybe improve the quality of refereeing. That's something that really needs to pick up. So we'll have to see how that goes. It's just. I mean, in one way, it cancelled each other out, but that would have been like a 1-0 victory would meant that I think that would have meant overtime, right? Yeah, that would have meant overtime and stuff like that. So it's hard. It's very difficult to pin it down to just the refereeing, but it's the quality of refereeing in general over the past few games has been miserable.
Yeah.
So there needs to be some kind of ownership that needs to be taken on that front.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on to the City versus Real Madrid game, City played really well, especially in the beginning. They put a lot of pressure on Madrid, and we saw the pressing led to defensive mistakes. Varane in particular, he's a really good defender, but like just that had a terrible game, and they basically lost because of him. Yeah, your thoughts on that game and how City played?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, right? I said City really wants this in the when we were doing our pre-match review as well. I was like, City really wanted. I was not surprised that they won, but I was just a little bit surprised in the manner in which they won. It's just it was very surprising in terms of the kind of City looked. I've never seen Madrid in this kind of pressure in a long time, right?
Yeah.
That City were putting in up front, like really uh, testing their defense and Varane with those two critical mistakes. I mean, those two big mistakes that led to goals in actually both times. So a very good defender, like you said, but
Yeah.
had a miserable game. One
Yeah.
of get and it showed how much they missed Ramos. Like he's a big game player. He would have really not allowed that to
Yeah.
happen.
Definitely. Yeah.
Would have settled those nerves over there is when they were kind of looking a little bit susceptible. So that was a big miss, and I wasn't surprised with the result. I was just surprised with the way the performance was in terms of especially the defense. So
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
Madrid were in the game at halftime. Like if you look at it was 1-1. Like if they snuck a goal from somewhere, it would have been the pressure on City. So like I mean, yeah, City did dominate, but at the same time, it wasn't like a blowout, like in terms of goals. So I mean, Madrid like they didn't create enough, and they were under pressure. I think that was where the game tilted. But they were in the game up until halftime.
I agree. I think like we discussed again earlier as well, right? City will always give you a chance. It's a matter of kind of taking that when they were kind of going into halftime, they had a little bit of a phase where they played a little bit better, and they should have capitalized on that. It's easier said than done for sure, but I think those important moments in the game was when kind of Madrid wasn't able to capitalize on some of the kind of when they came back in the game, they let the momentum go off again, and then they lost that all important again mistake by Varane, and then that kind of really close the game down, honestly.
Yeah, and yeah, like now City look dangerous. Between City and Lyon, do you feel Lyon can defend against City or no chance?
No, I think City will go through easily.
Go through easily. Okay, and yeah, that'll be interesting. And then moving on, Barcelona and Napoli. You called it. It was the Messi show. I mean, it was a good performance by Barcelona. Again, they did concede a goal, so we were right about that. But it was a good performance. Napoli did have chances in the second half. There's an offside goal which also got ruled out. But Barcelona attackingly were very impressive.
Absolutely, I think I was telling you, Messi kind of really like
Yeah,
he
he
was
turned up.
that finish, man. I mean, there were what five defenders that he crossed over, and then he hit that. He just curled it in while he was falling down. That's crazy. That's just like some next level football. He's I was expecting him to do what he did, and he just really showed up and really took the game away from Napoli. A very very good performance by Barcelona.
It was the Messi show completely. Do you think they have what it takes to overcome Bayern?
It's going to be a hard one because Bayern also will be coming off of some really good confidence off of that performance against Chelsea. But that'll be a more interesting game to watch compared to like a let's say City Lyon. I think that it'll be Bayern and Barca that'll take the viewership for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of Bayern, they spanked Chelsea badly both games, man. Like it was crazy. I think I went for like a 3-0, but it was even worse than that. Like I mean, 4-1, like same goal difference, but like I got
Yeah.
the exact prediction wrong. But like uh, we pretty much called it. Like Chelsea defensively are weak and they're gonna concede goals.
Yeah, absolutely, and they were really abysmal. Like it was literally like the first goal happened, the first penalty happened like 10 minutes, and then it just they really never looked like they were in the game. To be very honest, I mean, Tammy scored just before halftime, but it was just by then the game was kind of almost done anyway. So they were really not coming back, and then they came back in second half and really spanked them with a couple goals. And I mean, Chelsea really have some thinking to do in that defensive line.
If this was United, how much would they be criticized, like on WhatsApp groups and Instagram and Facebook trolls? Tell me this much.
I'm telling you, if it was United or even if it was Arsenal, like when Arsenal
Yeah,
lost,
even Arsenal. Yeah, even Arsenal.
like when Chelsea, there's no one really talks about it. It's just like
Yeah,
I mean that's
like,
just
like, like I completely understand about like Lampard's first season and everything. I completely understand, but there has to be criticism when it's due. That's all I'm saying.
defensive line is abysmal. There's
Yeah,
literally there's a lot that needs to be improved on. Yes, they will be scoring goals, but if you defend like that, there's no way of winning anything. I mean, it's very very hard. Uh, there's really that a lot of thought that needs to go into to that defensive line. He needs to really show that defense up. He maybe needs help. Maybe needs additional coaching stuff. I don't know what it is, but he needs to figure out what's going on in the defense. I honestly don't think buying two solid players will help. I mean, it will improve the thing, but there needs
attacking wise, you're saying.
no. I'm saying two defenders, even
Yeah.
if they get like two big name
Oh,
defenders, right?
okay. Yeah.
Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that it's the tactical issues over there. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that is what I personally believe. I think that I could be completely wrong over here, right? But I just feel that Lampard needs to put in more time on the defensive side of things. He needs to improve. He needs to improve the mindset, and he needs to improve. Uh, Also, maybe it's a little bit of a confidence thing. So maybe a big game player like someone like Virgil van Dijk can improve that. But there's no real solid defenders out there for them to go and buy like a big defender, right? So they're going to have to work on how they can improve their positioning, how they can improve things of that nature, right? And that comes down to coaching, and I think that improvement I expect to see that from Lampard, and I need to see that soon for them to continue to challenge for big trophies. As
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Because if you look at the graph since the lockdown, like since the restart, even in the Premier League, they've been losing, they've been dipping. And then they lost the FA Cup final, and now again the Champions League. Like I didn't expect them to win this tie, but at least put up a performance, which they didn't at all.
yeah. I think that there's a lot of those defensive issues that need to be solved quickly for them to really make that claim to be a top side. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a very good side. I'm not saying anything against
Yeah, yeah. But
they're
this was like an Arsenal Champions League performance. In terms of the score line. But yeah, yeah, like I
well,
agree with you.
I'm gonna ignore that comment. But yeah, no, there's and they're getting two or three very good attacking players, which is a good sign for them.
Yeah.
Either they're just thinking that
That's
they're
what they're banking on. That's why, like, even the critics are holding back because of the Werner and Ziyech and everything. They think Chelsea's going to go crazy, so there's no point criticizing this season. But I think you should go game by game and see what the mistakes are. And there's some obvious signs there that even with these signings, there are going to be problems. So you need to address those signs.
absolutely, they're definitely going to be having continue to have defensive issues if they don't show that up, and even they need to improve, like I said, positioning and stuff like that. There's a lot that can be improved through coaching as well, and that's what I see that Lampard needs to do quickly. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I think he can. He needs to address it quickly, or I don't know. Maybe his mentality is like, okay, if you score four, we'll score five. I think because with the attacking threat that they're improving on, maybe that's what they're thinking. But either way, they need to.
But Liverpool found that out that you can't win a league like that. They had that like I don't know if they had that mentality, but they played that sort of game like 2-3 years ago, 2018, and defensively they just kept conceding. Even against Arsenal, they had like a high scoring game as well. Do you remember that?
They did
Uh,
like 5-3 or something. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. But like they came third that year.
Yeah.
Then they got Van Dijk and then second and then first. So like that different, like you said, it might not be one big signing, but there needs to be like a systematic change, like the way they position the defenders, and yeah, probably sign a couple of players as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think spending all that money in the attacking side, which is doing okay. I mean, they're not doing badly. I mean, of course, now they're going to. There's news that Willian is leaving for sure now.
Yeah.
They're kind of sending up some of their older players and getting some new players, and that's fine, totally understandable. But you need to see what the issues are in that team, and the issue was not to score goals; it was to stop from conceding, and if that's not being taken care of, they're going to have a similar season. They're going to fight for top four and probably not end up with any trophy or anything. So
Yeah,
okay with that, that's cool.
yeah, definitely. And which player impressed you the most out of these games?
Uh, Even though Chelsea had some defensive issues, I think Robert Lewandowski is quite the player, man. He's such a great striker. He's just so good. He's just that perfect finisher. He's like the kind of player you want in every team, like to kind of lead the line. He can hold up the ball well. He's in the right place at the right time most of the times. He's a good goal scorer, and I think. Uh, uh, Messi had the Messi show. I mean, but that's what we come to expect of him. But I feel like just I mean, I think I'd give it to both Messi and to Lewandowski. I think both of them had a pretty good game, even though Chelsea had some defensive issues. It's just that Lewandowski, even in the first tie and the second tie, he kind of just came up with the goods. He scored 3 or 4 goals and in both the ties. So that's just something that stood out for me, honestly.
Yeah,
And if
definitely.
Ronaldo could have scored that hat trick, I'd give it to him.
Yeah, it'd be Ronaldo. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like they all had good games. Lewandowski, Ronaldo, Messi, all the big players had good games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lewandowski I think was the most impressive. But I was surprised you didn't talk about you didn't pick a substitute who came on the 64th minute,
Substitute which came on in 64th minute. Who?
Coutinho.
Oh,
I thought he was gonna be your player of the. Let's just hope that Willian move doesn't block the Coutinho move, because if they both come, Arsenal are they're challenging, man. They're back on it.
man, you guys forget whatever you want. We'll give you everything. If we can
Arteta's on the wheel.
Willian, I mean, we're diverging from the topic, but if we can get Coutinho and Willian, bro, I'm just so ready for next season if we can get both.
I'd be very surprised if that happens. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it does, oh damn, that'd be crazy.
That'd be great. But anyway, I'm coming back to the Champions League fixtures. Also, I think unfortunate, but I think the worst player of the kind of guys has to go to Varane because
yeah.
I mean, he's a very,
I
very
think he came out and said as well it was my fault. Yeah.
yeah. What does he think? He's David Luiz.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I read that in a Twitter comment somewhere. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, he owned up responsibility. That's a good thing always. But yeah, it was just it's just something that you don't come to expect off of him. And it's gonna take some mental strength to get over that game, man. For him, poor guy. He needs to come out of that strongly. Some good performance, hopefully in the coming games. But the holders are out. Yeah,
Sorry?
the holders are out.
holders are out, and the holders were out last before, right?
Oh wait, Liverpool won it before.
Yeah, worry you confused me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
no, it's fine.
yeah.
And just to round it off, the two favorites going in, would you agree with me? City and Bayern going into the like to win the total tournament, the overall tournament.
The overall tournament.
Yeah,
Oh, City will always give you a chance. I don't know. I think
I think there's one team that can beat City, and I'm not going to choose Bayern. I think Atletico Madrid.
they will be able to do that. I
I think
think.
it'll be tough, but they'll set up perfectly for City. You know what I mean? Bayern, they can also beat City, but it'll be very like end to end kind of.
You're probably right. Atletico will really frustrate City, and then City, knowing Pep, will continue to go forward. And then
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
they did with Liverpool. Like Liverpool attack dominated the game, and then bang, bang, bang from the counter attack.
yep.
So, but it'll be interesting. Like it's I think it is difficult to call right now. But right now, the informed teams do look like Bayern and City. But then don't count out the likes of Atletico Madrid and even Leipzig. Like you never know. Like they don't have Werner, but you never know.
Well, yeah, one has gone because so he
Yeah,
doesn't.
Werner's gone.
Why
No,
doesn't he finish
no.
the season with
He's
them? They
sitting
should.
on Chelsea's bench, man. Didn't you see him in the FA Cup final?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with the signings, they can play this like the end of the season. So, like, suppose if Sancho does come, he can play in the Europa League.
Oh,
He's not cup tied, right?
I see.
The reason why Werner can't play for Chelsea is because he's cup tied. He played already in the Champions League. I think that it might be a mistake, but yeah. And I forgot about PSG in Atlanta, man. Like PSG is there as well.
Yeah, but PSG is not the kind of Well, they're a
I
good
know,
side.
I know, like they will choke and everything, but that team is there. The players are there. Mbappe is there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. It's going to be really exciting. I think, yeah, like forget that. Like this is very difficult. Like forget about what I said about favorites. I mean, I just maybe saw this round of fixtures and said that, but there's actually a lot of teams still there to compete.
Yeah, there's a bunch, and it'll be interesting to see. I don't know when Mbappe is coming back from that injury because it was a pretty nasty one that he got.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So hopefully he comes back because without Mbappe, then that PSG team's probably not favorites in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There's some exciting football to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you soon and take care and have a good night.
Yes, you too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.